After what they thought was a night off having a drink and a chat, the candidates are in for a nasty shock.
I'd like to introduce you to Martel from The Sun and Katie from Reveal magazine.
Last night we told you we were Pete's very good friends. We're not. In real life, we're both working journalists. And our exercise last night was to find out how indiscreet you would be with information, personal information that had been given to you.
And if you'd been an ordinary punter listening to some stories last night, a story on Pete Burns could have gone up to about 10 grand.
It was a little bit worrying because obviously we'd known what had gone on in the room and some people had said quite a lot.
A lot of the juicy gossip, even if you're just saying yes and agreeing to it, it can still be used as a source. So we're just here to see who would actually give us the best stories.
If I was a punter, I would have been a very rich lady by now.
Everything I said was another dollar note.
Whoever you talk to, you have to keep in mind it could be a journalist or someone after a story, because with the money that stories are going for now on celebrities, everyone is out there to get something.
When Pete's friends did walk in and announced they were actually journalists, I was just floored, but gutted, embarrassed, nervous.
Some of the things the two journalists said were quite scathing. I was quite worried about your behaviour. But rather than just take their word for it, we actually wired this room for secret filming. And we're now going to watch video of your indiscretions.
Oh my God. I was absolutely horrified. Just swallow me up and die.
And obviously, this has consequences for someone. So just think about the kind of stuff that you're going to see now.
Everyone was mortified to watch himself back on that film.
Doing a film?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a really exciting time to join their team. Because they've got a lot of things on the go that you can be really excited to do.
Yeah.
Has he told you guys about the baby?
What baby?
Yeah.
With Pete's personal life, it's his personal life, and obviously...
Because I think he's... Yeah, I'm going to talk to him about it later, but to be honest, I haven't had a lot of time to see him since the filming.
Well, he just said it on camera, so
It's very personal.
he wouldn't have said it on camera.
Where's he going to adopt the baby from?
He didn't say.
I think they joked about it, then you're going to get I should have known, really, but gutted.
What we've just seen is pretty damning stuff. Imagine what Pete would say about it. Well, actually, don't imagine what Pete would say about it. You're going to bring him in.
When Rob said Pete was coming to the room, I just thought, it just kicked me out with a big fat boot and just say, you silly old cow.
Yeah, when Pete walked in the room, he was furious.
His face just told the story, basically. He was fuming. He was really upset.
I'd really like to tell you that I'm happy, but I'm not.
My heart just sunk, you know, through the bottom of my feet, practically. I just thought, Christ, he's going to crucify me.
Discretion is one of the main things that I'm looking for in a PA. And some of you really sold me out for 40 pieces of silver. SJ.
I'm sorry.
It's too late to be sorry. They were journalists.
I'm just hearing my heart in my ear, thinking, oh my God, can it get any worse?
You just unravelled, and given more time, you'd have completely come undone.
If I had been his PA at that time, I would have offered my resignation.
Ian, you were really easily led there. This is a game where people will lead you on to give out information. Too much came out, although you were very easily overridden by, guess who? Damon. You got verbal diarrhea there. You did not stop. Right through that whole thing, you thought it was a real night out with friends, and you could not stop jabbering. Now, the bit that I'm absolutely furious about is you commented on mine and Michael's relationship. Yes, it is lovey-dovey, but when have you seen any evidence whatsoever of it being volatile?
I haven't really.
So what are you talking about, you stupid?
Yeah, it must be.
My heart really went out to Damon.
We told you about a baby, and we told you various other things to see if you'd let it go. But we didn't tell you we were volatile. And also they got the date of the wedding, and we also got a particularly alarming promise that you're going to be a topless waiter at the wedding.
No, that was just having...
I know, but they take that seriously. If that was a journalist, they'd put, Damon's going to be a topless waiter at their gay orgy wedding. That is a nice thought.
Yeah.
I could have crap splashed all over the news of the world tomorrow, stuff that you weren't free to give out. My personal life remains absolutely personal. If a PA is working around me, they're actually involved in my personal life, but that doesn't mean that they can go out and chat about my personal life to anybody under any circumstances whatsoever, no matter how much drink is involved. I'm really not happy about that, and this is not an act. I'm pissed off rotten. You're going to get set up in this business left, right and centre, and it's going to appear in the papers, and, you know, then I will be volatile. And I really don't know what you have seen to think that Michael and my relationship is volatile. I really don't know. You've really let me down.
What do you guys think of your behaviour?
Disgusting.
Well, just I'm totally unawares, and you're absolutely spot on. You can always be on top of it. I would never even say I was a celebrity PA.
But you know, in a situation, some of my actual friends, you know, some of my friends might not know those things, but because my PA is actually around me, my PA will get to see a lot more than my friends. So I keep things away from my friends because it's my business and nobody else's. The PA has got to blend in, be part of the furniture, and zip until I say, spread that around.
I can only apologise.
I have no defence. It's all there, evidence, so I have no defence.
That was a case of verbal diarrhoea.
Yeah, all I can do is apologise.
Just apologise. Things that were said, so I'll hold my hands up, I'm sorry.
Shelley, you didn't offer up information, but you agreed with everything that was given to you.
I know, all I can say, Pete, is I'm really, really sorry.
Natalie, you were quite free to comment on Charlotte Church there from what we saw. Do you know Charlotte Church?
I've obviously been overly dramatic and gone, oh, I don't like her, which I shouldn't have.
All we can go on is the evidence we've seen with our eyes, and we've seen that you're just blabbing all over the place, and that's a problem. Apart from Nikki, I have to say, who was a soul of discretion. So, you know, there were multiple attacks on you, and you said, you know, I'm sorry, I'm not at liberty to say. The only thing to take away is, you know, just a little bit friendlier, because, you know, you came across as quite a frosty person. But, you know, in terms of discretion, well done.
Some of you let me down quite badly in that task, really badly. When you read things in those papers that it says, according to sources, where do you think it comes from? Usually somebody close who got pissed, who can't stop talking about it, because they are like the snake in the Garden of Eden. They will lead you astray. On one occasion, a journalist asked Michael if they could use his mobile phone, and they have a way of clicking in and taking the numbers out of it, but he was clever. Yeah. Michael gets it all the time. There's going to be another chance for you. You're going to get to meet my friends and loved ones, and they're going to help me decide who should be my PA. Bye.
Poor Damon. He looks so distraught. I really did actually feel quite sorry for him.
What can I say? I have no defence, you know. I'm sort of a martyr on the altar of the gossip TV. I just couldn't defend myself, so I just decided, lesson learned.
I just felt very, very down after that, very, very low, very stupid. I felt like I'd completely let myself down. I was definitely the worst in that one.
If a PA is indiscreet about their client, it's the kind of thing that gets written up in a paper, and it could lead to lawsuits, you know. The PA is going to get fired, the client could lose their career, could lose money. You know, it's all dire consequences.
There are some terrible stories out there of you know, paparazzi do go through celebrities' bins. It's part of their job. They've got to find out information, so you've got to make sure that everything is destroyed. Anybody that comes to the house, workmen that come to the house, builders, just don't keep anything lying around.
So you're getting all flustered. I only want to know, is there a wedding? All I would say to that is that immediately cut me off as aggressive, and if you want to deal with me again in future, do you think we're going to have a good rapport?
He may be a little guy, but he can stand up for himself.
In what way? You mean he'd go off on me like the clappers if I pissed him off?
When I'm in the zone of, like, this is work, I don't need to stop. Just get on with it until the job's done.
Until you faint from lack of
well,
hydration.
maybe exhaustion, yeah.